Now, I haven't always been this happy, healthy, confident person that stands before you today, and in fact, I'll be honest, I'm not happy, healthy and confident every single minute of everything every single day. I am human. But the good thing is that whenever I do get down, I can recognise the signals and I know what it takes to pick myself back up again and pick myself up fast. As a teenager, I was in a really bad relationship with someone, not going to name names, but he basically cheated on me, and my confidence, my self-esteem, everything, even my self-worth, just vanished over the years I was in that relationship. I literally thought I was useless, that I was fat and I was ugly. And you know what, just everything that went wrong got to me, and it seemed to be as if I deserved that everything was going to go wrong. So I got really, really down, got to a very, very low point in my life, probably the lowest point I've been. So I remember there was one night in my bedroom and I just got to the stage where I just cried my heart out, basically. I just cried and cried and cried, and I prayed to God, probably for the very first time when I gave a genuine prayer, I prayed to God to let me find someone who loved me for being me. Now, luckily, when I broke away from the relationship, I vowed never ever to let anybody make me feel that way again, and I started a success journal, and it basically focused on everything that I really liked about myself, which to be honest was very little at that time, and I had a list of everything that I wanted to achieve over the years, so sort of short-term goals and long-term goals. And it's really nice because looking back, I've still got the journal, looking back over the years, I've actually achieved everything that I had written down as a teenager. So it just makes me smile when I see it. And little did I know that that's a fantastic life coaching tip that you can use to start to turn things around, especially when it comes to how you feel about yourself. And it was really nice because that is what basically set me off on my journey to become really, really passionate about personal development and life coaching. And I have literally read as many books as you can get on the subject, if not all of them at the moment, and I ended up going on to study a postgraduate diploma, and that's where I met my soulmate. And you know what, it's funny because in the journal that I'd written, I even had criteria for what I wanted my soulmate to be like, and my soulmate, who I've married luckily, met every single bit. He just ticked off that whole checklist, so that's why I love that exercise. After we met, as things happen in relationships, my weight went from a natural size 10 to 12 right up to a 16. And I remember at the time I was blaming on the washing machine, shrinking my clothes. I just couldn't accept that I'd put weight on, because as a kid I was really healthy and I used to do loads of dancing, loads of swimming, I played netball, I used to take my dog out 3 times a day. I did everything, I was always on the go. I'm just a natural person who has lots of energy. So to put weight on when I had my relationship, I got quite a shock. And I started to go to the gym and I just couldn't lose the weight. And I thought, hang on, this isn't right. Luckily, I managed to sort of get the weight off in time for the wedding. And I made another vow to myself at that time to say, right, okay, never ever ever am I going to get that unhealthy again, because it started to affect the way I felt about myself again, feeling fat and unattractive. And that's what got me into my life coaching experience. I basically from there thought, you know what, I miss dancing, I miss that dancing that I used to do as a kid. So I went off to train as a fitness coach, so teaching all sorts of ballroom classes, dance classes, more bums and tums, yoga, everything, you name it, I taught it. And it wasn't just to adults, it was children as well. And I've got a brilliant yoga class that I've got a brilliant yoga class that I've taught around schools and nurseries. So that was just part of me getting back on track with my fitness. Now, when I became pregnant with baby number 1, I was teaching around 3 classes a week. I was a size 8. I was training to do my very, very first half marathon, so I thought I was mega fit. And basically, when I came to sort of say, what can I do when I'm pregnant? Is it okay to still run? Is it okay to teach my classes? There wasn't anybody around who could tell me the answer or give me a straight answer, because I didn't know for sure. So what I did, being me, I went off to train to do a very own specialist course in postnatal and antenatal fitness. So I became one of those instructors who can teach pregnant women and women who've just had babies specific exercises that were going to benefit their body. And I remember I even ran mother and baby fitness classes with my little 1 and 2, and it was brilliant because we used to do it in the park with the buggy and the pushchairs, or we would have it in a sort of sports hall, community halls, and we even had the little ones around in the walkers or sitting in the middle or lying on the play mats. So those were really good fun. Soon after that I planned for baby number 2, and I pretty much thought to myself that I would sort of have the same sort of pregnancy and maybe it would probably be my last baby. So I admit, hands up, despite being fit, despite loving my exercise, I still loved my chocolates and crisps and sweets then, so I stuffed my face full of rubbish. Especially because I thought, you know, it's going to be the last time I'm pregnant, I can make the most of this. And he was due in December, so you know, Christmas time, loads of mince pies, and that is one thing that I really fell for. So I stuffed my face. Needless to say, no shock horror, when it came to losing that baby weight, oh, it was terrible. So even though I knew the exercise and I was doing the exercise that I'd done first time around, it just wasn't working after baby number 2 because I'd eaten so much rubbish. And what I found was I was becoming addictive, or had become addicted to certain foods that I knew weren't great for me. And that's what got me to think, hang on, there's got to be stuff in this food that shouldn't be there, or there's got to be stuff in this food that is making me want to have this food. So I spent the time after that sort of really, again, doing more research into health and well-being. And when it came, I was teaching my fitness classes, I was doing life coaching sessions, I was just so busy and looking after my boys at the same time. And I really had this strong urge to help mums. I was getting loads of questions from people in my mum and baby classes, I was getting loads of questions from people in my yoga classes, and I just kept on learning as much as I could, especially through all the night feeds. And I took stock and I thought, do you know what, when it was time to go back to work, I thought, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to go back to work in something that I'm not really passionate about. I'm going to give this a shot and do what I can to help mums out there, because I know how people feel, I know how they struggle to lose weight. I really want to make a difference. I also wanted baby number 3. Yeah, I'm a bit mad. They were all planned very close together. So basically I luckily fell pregnant with baby number 3 soon after, and I was running my business and doing online business courses and everything, and I was very busy again, and my lovely little girl arrived, and I spent my maternity leave with her studying, because throughout that pregnancy what I'd done was I was aware that I couldn't eat the rubbish that I'd eaten with pregnancy number 2, so I was really focusing and studying on food and what it does to our bodies. And I managed to study a nutrition course and became a qualified nutritional advisor. And my course in nutrition was amazing. So I found all of the answers that I needed to know after pregnancy number 2, in that, yeah, there are loads of addictive things shoved into our food without us knowing about. And I also discovered that the very reason why I had managed to sort of bounce back really fast in terms of getting my body back to normal after my little girl, because I'd eaten the right sort of foods. So I knew the key method that I needed to do, and that it was backed up by scientific research. So as I went through all of this experience, I realised that every other mum out there was going through the same thing. So they were having loads of issues where they could look in the mirror and only focus on the flabby bits or the squidgy bits that they didn't like anymore, and they sort of have a longing for the body that they had before the pregnancy, or they would look at the wobbly thighs, or just wish they were smaller. And I've personally been through this more recently as well. So yeah, my kids are sort of older, but I've just had some really horrible news that my knees are absolutely knackered, to say the least. All the years of dancing and running have taken their toll, and I have basically worn away all of the cartilage in my knees. So I'm not supposed to, according to the consultant, bend down, go up and down stairs, run, walk on hard ground. Now, as a mother of 3, you know that's just pretty unrealistic. I need to bend down to pick up toys and clothes and clean. So I feel squidgy at places. I've got the love handles sometimes and think, oh, how did those happen? And there are days where I think, oh, I just want to go out for a run again. I love my running. I just want to go out and relax and have fun going for my 2-hour run, I wish. So I'm only 37, but the consultant turned around to me just recently and said, if you carry on doing what you're doing, you will be in a wheelchair at the age of 45. It was a horrible thing to do and to say, but it was a wake-up call I needed. So I've spent the last few months researching and doing exercise that benefits my body without punishing it, and I can see that my body, despite sort of letting me down in some respects, I've let my body down. So I focus on the fact, instead of that I can't go running, what I can do. And I remember that I've given birth to 3 gorgeous kids, so my body is amazing and I'm going to treat it like that. So the message was becoming clearer. All of the information I had gained to pull myself out of a bad relationship, to lose weight after 3 pregnancies, to get my fitness levels back despite having no times, my dodgy knees and 3 young children, and the fact that I've learned how to love my body again, even though it's not the perfect shape that I think or society tells me I should think it should be. Do you know what? All of this experience has let me know that I can help other mums. So that's what brings me to now, the here and now. I've started creating my very first online course, due to popular demand, I should say, or due to loads of requests. And it's especially made for mums out there who want to be healthy, happy and confident, and they just feel as though they don't have the time. And now my wish for you is to be able to look in the mirror and love what you see. There's no pressure to be a certain size, there's no pressure to lose loads of weight, and you just do what it takes to feel great in your own skin, because do you know what, everybody's different, and you need to just do what you need to do to feel great in your own skin again and appreciate how fabulous you really are, and I will be with you every step of the way.